Hi everyone, my name is Melissa van Dijk, and in today's video I want to talk about washing your hair, specifically how often you should do it and why using shampoo actually makes a lot of sense, especially if you're living in a polluted city. Before we get into the details, I want to give you a bit of background so you can understand where this is coming from and how I came to that conclusion, because it is actually backed by some year-long testing. Now, if you're a subscriber or have been following me for a while now, you probably know that I stopped using all skincare products for about a year and a half, because I really wanted to understand what was affecting my skin. And over time, to my own surprise, my skin completely balanced itself without using anything at all. I could and still can wash it with just water and it stays clean, calm and healthy. But there was one thing I could never fully get rid of: shampoo. I already touched on this briefly a while ago when I was still living in Europe. But now that I've moved to Asia, I wanted to update it because I had an entirely new experience here that really changed how I look at this topic. And I wanted to share the knowledge I gathered over time and explain to you the logical reason why that is the case. Okay, so first let's look at why it's best to use a shampoo for your hair, but for your skin it is perfectly fine to skip a cleanser. And the reason is actually quite simple. Your skin is alive. It is constantly renewing itself, repairing small damages and balancing oil production based on what you do to it. And when you stop using harsh cleansers, your skin learns to regulate its own oil levels again. So it can keep a healthy surface, get rid of old skin cells naturally, and even handle exposure to pollution quite well. Even in more polluted environments, your skin's natural oils and thin outer layer, together with the tiny good bacteria living on it, help prevent most particles from getting in too deeply. And when you stop stripping your skin with harsh or too many products, those little good bacteria living on it help keep it balanced and actually help keep your skin clean. And this is the reason why your face can remain healthy and balanced even if you only wash it with water. Hair, on the other hand, is completely different. It is made of a strong protein called keratin, which gives the hair its shape and strength. But once your hair grows out of the scalp, it is no longer alive. It can't repair itself, it can't adapt, and it can't clean itself. Your scalp still has its own natural balance, but the hair strands do not. And there's nothing that can protect them or help remove buildup. The oil that your scalp produces spreads along the hair and mixes with dust, sweat, and pollution from the air. And because the surface of the hair isn't completely smooth, all those tiny particles stick to it easily. And water alone cannot remove that buildup. It just rinses off what is loose, but it does not wash away the oil or pollution particles that cling to the strands. And this is why even if your scalp feels fine, your hair can still look and feel greasy or heavy after a few days. And you really have no other choice but to wash it. And that's something I noticed even more clearly when I was living in a place with much heavier pollution. A couple of months back, when I stayed in Bangkok, I experienced how bad pollution can really be. The air there was so heavy that after just a short time outside, my hair felt sticky, almost like a thin layer of dust had settled on it. I did not live there for long because I moved to a beach area, but even during that short time, I could clearly see that in a city like that, you simply cannot go without shampoo. And I think many people living in similar environments, whether that's New Delhi, Lahore, Dhaka or Bangkok or any other heavily polluted city, will relate to this. In such places, I would honestly recommend washing your hair daily with a mild shampoo, something gentle that cleans without drying out the scalp. And it's best to do it at night or right after you come home and when you're in your room, so you're not bringing all that dust and pollution to bed with you. Now, if you live somewhere where the air is cleaner, you can go a few days, maybe even a week, without washing it with shampoo. But personally, I've had the best experience washing it every 3 to 4 days. Of course, this also depends on your lifestyle. If you exercise a lot, sweat heavily, or just feel that your hair looks or feels off, then wash it more often. And it is also not an issue to wash your hair with shampoo every day or every couple of days. I've done that in the past too, when I was recording daily skincare tutorials for my channel, and I have never had any problems doing so. But it just felt like it wasn't always necessary. At the end of the day, it is not only about hygiene, it is also about comfort and confidence. So to sum it up, hair is not like skin, it cannot balance itself. Pollution and oil cling to the strands, and water alone cannot remove them. In polluted cities, washing daily with a mild shampoo is the healthiest and most practical option. In cleaner places, every 3 to 4 days is perfectly fine unless you're sweating or exercising a lot. And through my own experience, I learned that shampoo is one of the few products that truly makes sense to use regularly. Not for beauty, but for keeping your scalp and hair clean and healthy. And that's it for me for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.